The new update is here. We got double XP weekend starting Wednesday. It should be starting today. Currently, I don't have it on my system, but the update should be starting today. I want you guys to have the best settings. I'm going to share the best settings with you guys. I just loaded up my game. You're going to look at all my settings raw. I'm not going to touch a single thing. You guys are going to see everything. I want you guys to get these settings so you could glue on enemies, you could drop enemies, and we're not just going to be talking controller settings today. I made a lot of videos talking about controller settings in the past few days, but today we're going to talk about literally everything. We're going to start off with controller. We're going to go into graphics, audio, and then something that a lot of people forget is interface and account and network. A lot of people forget about these ones right here, but we're definitely going to be talking about these because they're really important. Now, like I said, I just loaded up my game. I just booted up. I haven't really touched anything. We're going to start off with the controller settings, but before that, if you guys are lazy to unlock camos or you just simply don't have time to go ahead and do it, you guys could check out my new sponsor, MMOEXP, where they'll unlock all the camos for you in the game, whatever you need. They even have double XP tokens if you guys want to get those as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and you cannot get banned by doing this because they do not use a unlock tool. Now, the best part about all this is that you guys could click the link in my description, use code iDoNick, and save yourself some money when getting this service. It's awesome. All right, man, let's get into the controller settings. Now, I'm gonna say I do love these settings. I love it all, but there's going to be some optional things you guys could change if you want. So basically right now, horizontal 6 sensitivity, I play on 7, vertical 8. The reason I play on vertical 8 is because if there's enemies that are above me in a window or something, I want to snap on them really fast. I want to get that crosshair on them before I ADS, and I just want it to be quick. I don't want to wait or anything, so I do that for sure. And then I also play on stick and move flipped. Now to flip, you got to turn on this right here, L1 and R1. I'm gonna recommend don't do this, all right? I play flipped on a PlayStation 5 controller. I don't even have back paddles. I have nothing. I don't recommend it though. The reason I don't is because, well, one, it feels really comfortable. So if you wanna play L1 R1, do it for the comfortability, but it actually has a slower response time, the L1 and R1 over L2 and R2, which is weird because they click a lot faster, but it's been proven that they actually have a slower response time. So I recommend this off. I'm gonna keep mine on though because I like it. Controller vibration off 100% of the time. You don't want this on. You don't need it on. I can't even turn mine on. Even if I turn it on, I got no rumbles in my controllers. I took them out myself. And they're annoying. So make sure you guys turn that off as well. It's going to mess you up in some gunfights. And then trigger effect, I got it to nothing. But dead zone inputs, this is what I tell you guys. And you guys commented on my video last time when I told you guys to do this exact thing right here. And a lot of you guys told me this paired up with some aiming settings that I'm going to talk about in a minute made you guys so much better. Made you guys snap on enemies and actually stay on enemies. The aim assist, if you turn your right stick to 0, your aim assist is basically non-existent. So don't do that. A lot of people are going to recommend 0. I used to recommend 0. Do not put it to 0, guys. Now, left stick minimum, if you could put it to 0, put it to 0. If you have stick drift like I do, my character moves on his own, he starts walking on his own. If I have this at 0, put it to 1. If he's still walking in game, put it to 2. Mine is at 5, where my character isn't walking anymore. So I'm going to leave mine at 5. Left stick max 25. This is good for movement. You're going to be really quick. It's going to respond quickly. Everything's nice at 25. Trust me on that one, guys. And then the right stick minimum, I would say the minimum you want to go is 5, and the maximum you want to go is 15. And the higher you go towards 15, the better your aim is, but you have less control in the micro movements. So I'm going to say 10. 10 is really nice. When you aim at an enemy, I made a video on it. You guys all loved it. Literally like hundreds of comments of people loving it. And I'm really happy I was able to help you guys. And I read every single comment, but I will say 10, all right, guys? And then right stick max 100. This is, you guys are gonna love this. Now, before we get into the aiming settings right here, I want to ask you guys if you could drop a like on this video. I wanted to give you guys some info before I ask. Obviously, it makes sense, right? Sub to the channel, those notifications turn on, and let me know down in the comments below what sensitivities are you currently playing on for horizontal and vertical. I'm a 7/8. I love it there. Let me know down in the comments below. Let's get into some of these right here. So sensitivity multiplier, my air vehicle sensitivity multiplier. This is when you're controlling like a gunship and stuff. I put it down to 0.60. It's just easier to stay on target, easier to hit targets. A little slow, I'll be honest with you guys. It's a little slow, but it is what it is. And then y'all want to put the, why did I say y'all? I'm not even American. I'm Canadian, by the way, guys. The tablet sensitivity multiplier, I put at 0.45. This is when you're controlling a hellstorm, or if you're calling in a streak where you have to use the tablet and ping different locations on it. It's just a little too fast, so I put it at 0.45. It's so easy to control, and it's nice. And then my ADS sensitivity multiplier while in focus with a sniper or with an AR that has an attachment that lets you focus, I put it down to 0.90. I like it there as well. Now, aiming advanced settings. I have gradual. Somebody told me to put on gradual. Some of you guys don't like it. I get it. Some of you guys love it. I'm going to say gradual when you're aiming down sights, when you begin ADSing and stuff. Dude, this is, you are accurate. You are super accurate when you play on gradual. And someone told me that. I'm not taking credit for it. Somebody told me this. Somebody told me to put this. A lot of people play instant. I got a comment. The dude told me put it on gradual. Thank you, bro. Honestly, thank you. It is so nice. And then assist for the third person ADS correction type, whatever. And then my aim response curve type, I play on dynamic with a slope scale of 0.80. The lower you put this, the straighter that slope scale becomes. I put mine to 0.80. It's just really nice. It's a little closer to linear, but I don't recommend playing on linear. Dynamic at 0.80 is awesome. And then my custom sensitivity per zoom, I put my ADS sensitivity multiplier to 0.90. But I recommend either 0.90, 0.95, or even 0.85. You guys can play out whichever one. I like 0.90. It's just really nice when you're aiming down sights. It sticks on targets. If you put this higher, let's say you're playing on 110, your ADS aim assist is going to be really weak. It's not going to work that nice. So 0.90, you're going to glue on targets. But I will say up close, I wish it was a little faster. I wish you could change it for like different ranges and stuff, but honestly 0.90 is solid. That's what I like right there. Target aim assist on, motion, don't really use that, none of that, whatever. Movement, I really didn't change much, so I'm just going to go through it quickly. If you guys want to pause at any moment, go ahead and copy it. And then combat as well, I'm just going to go through this one really quickly. I didn't really change anything, so I'm not going to really talk about it much, so there's not much I changed. Now, in graphics, if you have a PC like me, you'll have these exact graphic settings. If you have a PlayStation 5, you might not have brightness settings, but you want to make sure that even in your PlayStation settings, you set this properly, all right? In COD, if you have these, just set the not visible to actually not visible, to barely visible to barely visible, and the easily visible to easily visible. The reason you want to do that is because you don't want this game to look washed out. You don't want this game to look ugly or anything. You don't want it to be too dark either, and you can't see enemies in corners. Set it properly, guys. The quality, I'm going to say, again, my render resolution, I leave it at 105. No reason to put this higher. I'm recording. I find that if I put it higher, I could play at 125, and then I could put my texture resolution to high. It looks awesome. It looks great, but then I realized that when I'm recording, there's micro stutters. It doesn't look that nice in video, so I'm just going to set mine to 105. It is what it is. And then here, I mean, high, normal, low, set it to whatever you guys like, whatever looks nice for you. I can't tell you guys to copy me exactly for this right here. In view, field of view, I play at 107, and the reason I play at 107 is because when enemies are in long distance, I want them to look bigger on my screen. I don't want them to, if I play on 120, sure, I can see more of the map, but every single engagement I get into in long range, to put my crosshairs on the enemy before I actually ADS is going to be really hard because it's going to look really small. So I put mine at 107, and honestly, it's really nice. And then my ADS field of view, I keep it on independent. If you put it to affected, a lot of people recommend affected. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and you guys are really happy when I told you to put it to independent. It brings in the screen a lot more, which again, up close is not the best for gunfights, but you do get used to it. But when you get to mid-range and long range, the enemies just look so much bigger on your screen. It's easier to hit the enemies. I'm gonna recommend independent. And then another one, this one I'm not gonna fully recommend to you guys because it looks very ugly, but put your weapon field of view to narrow instead of default or wide. If you put it to wide, your weapon actually ends up covering more of your screen. Even though the weapon looks smaller, it covers more of your screen, so you actually lose some screen space if there's enemies hiding in long distance and you can't see them because the barrel of your gun is covering them and stuff. You're gonna get shot at and die. So I just play on narrow. It doesn't make a huge difference, but personally I like it there. Roll motion blur, 100% off. You do not want this on, but weapon motion blur, I'm gonna say turn this on. It's kind of important. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but when your weapon motion blur, and I used to tell you guys to turn it off all the time, but when you put your weapon motion blur on, it's gonna make your gun blurry. And what happens when something is out of focus? Your brain completely forgets it's there, which is great. That's what you want. You don't want to focus on your gun as you're running around the map. If your brain forgets your gun is there, you're gonna see more of the map. Not because your gun is not covering or anything. Your gun's still gonna cover it, but your brain's not gonna focus on it. And it's a weird little tip. But I've noticed ever since I put this on, I'm actually focusing a lot more. I'm dropping a lot more enemies. I'm killing a lot more enemies and stuff. And I'm winning gunfights that I just, normally sometimes I'm just staring at my screen and an enemy jumps in front. Sometimes I'll zone out. But doing this, it actually works a lot. And then camera movement, put this to the least, man. You do not want that on. That's ugly. Going into the audio settings, and then we're going to get into these, which is kind of important. There's two here that are going to help you guys out a lot. But in the audio settings, I mean, we got the master gain volume at 100. Gameplay music volume, I recommend 0. I keep mine up at 50 just for the sake of videos. It sounds better to have some gameplay music in the background. Dialogue volume 100. Effects volume 100. This is the footsteps, the gunshots, all that kind of stuff. And then basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I play on Sucker Punch for the audio mix. This is a good one to play on. If you're playing with a headset, put Sucker Punch. You're going to hear footsteps a lot louder. You're going to hear gunshots a lot louder. You're just going to hear everything a lot louder. So definitely do that. And then voice chat, I mean, set it to whatever you guys want here, right? It doesn't really matter. You guys, you don't have to copy me for this. Set it to whatever sounds good for you guys. Now, in the interface, there's going to be crosshairs, all right? In the gameplay HUD, you're going to scroll over to gameplay HUD here. You're going to go down to crosshairs. You're going to turn on center dot. You're going to make this bigger. You're going to set the center dot to the largest. You're going to set the opacity to 100, and you're going to pick purple or fuchsia. Some people are going to tell you put yellow. Don't put yellow, man, because there's a lot of yellow on the maps. The sun is yellow. There's a lot of light everywhere. Your crosshair is going to get lost in that sometimes. You're just going to not pay attention. You're going to lose gunfights. You set it to purple. There's no purple on the maps. There's no natural purple anywhere. It's going to look good. You're going to draw people nicely, so make sure you do that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is in account and network. Actually, let's go to global quickly, because I think it's in global, or is it in gameplay HUD? I forget where it is. It might be in global. All right, it's not in global at all. It's in readability. You're going to go to color customization, and you're going to put on color filter 2. The reason you're going to do this is because it makes the colors pop a lot more. The minimap pops a lot more. The colors of the world are more vibrant. Put it to color filter 2. It just makes everything stand out more. It's just kind of nice, right? And then the last thing we're going to talk about is account and network. You're going to go down here to the effects. I'm not going to say it just in case it's an unmonetizable word on YouTube. You're going to turn it off. And the reason you're going to turn it off is, have you ever gotten into a gunfight and you start shooting at someone and then you micro stutter and then you lag for like a split second, but after that you're dead? You're just dead on your screen and stuff. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen periodically, and that's because this is turned on. You're going to want to turn that off 100% of the time. Like I said, guys, if you could drop a like on this video, I would truly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on, and let me know down in the comments below. You guys could either let me know your sensitivity, your horizontal and vertical, or if you have nothing to comment, we need comments here anyways, just comment green bananas are sour. It doesn't matter. It's weird. It works. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.